Right guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the ASUS ROG Strix G16 gaming laptop. This is ASUS's latest addition to their gaming lineup. Now this one has the brand new RTX 4060 laptop GPU as well as Intel's latest 13th generation i7 processor, and altogether it's an absolute beast. But the question is, at $14.99, should you pick it up or should you pass on this one? Without further ado, let's find out. So firstly, I want to talk about the specs for this laptop. To start with the processor, you've got the i7 13650HX processor. That's absolutely a mouthful. It's a top-end i7 processor that are in laptops right now, so you can't complain with that. Alongside that, you've got the RTX 4060 as well, which can handle pretty much any games that you can throw at it, as long as you turn down some of the settings. And as well as that, you've got 16GB of DDR5 RAM running at 4800 MHz, which is pretty solid. As well as that, you've got 1TB of SSD storage, and in terms of the display as well, you've got a 1200p panel, which is basically a full HD display in a 16:10 aspect ratio that also runs at 165Hz. Now a little bit later on, I will go a bit further into how these specs do translate into performance, but for now I want to move on to the design and build quality of this laptop. Now it's built extremely well, but it's extremely heavy as well. So if you're looking for a lightweight portable laptop, this isn't the one you're going to want to go for. But nonetheless, it is incredibly well built. It does weigh over 2 kilograms and it is a chunky laptop as well. So yeah, like I said, it's not going to be easy to take around with you. And as well as this, the charging brick is almost as heavy as the laptop itself. So this is really a desktop replacement opposed to an everyday carry laptop. But if you're okay with that, then this is going to be a really good option for you. Now, one of the main reasons why I love ASUS as a brand for laptops is because they're extremely adventurous when it comes to design. They don't go down the safe route, they experiment a little bit, and to be honest, they've done really well this time. So we've got some nice LED strips going around the front of the laptop, as well as this like neon green strip around the back of the laptop, and an RGB ASUS ROG logo on top of the laptop, as well as some sort of starry pattern on top of a silicone texture on the front of the laptop. To be honest, I think it's really cool. It's definitely a bit different. Now, a couple of things to note with the design, and I really want to talk about the keyboard. Now, I think they went a bit crazy with the keyboard to the point it's a little bit difficult to get used to, but it is nice nonetheless. The WASD and the couple of keys around it, I forgot what they are now, they are transparent, as well as the spacebar is also transparent. So it's a bit of an adventurous design. I do like it quite a lot, but it is weird to get used to. And as well as that, the enter key is quite small, as well as the shift key, so that's something to keep in mind. It's not a big deal, you'll get used to it, but it's just a bit of a weird one when you first get the laptop. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the whole RGB lighting. I think it looks really cool. I think it'll appeal to a lot of people. But if you like the look of the laptop but you don't want the RGB lighting, don't worry. With the built-in software, you can turn it off, you can turn certain parts of the lights off, you can turn the strip off, you can turn the keyboard off. You've got full customization, you can change any colour, create your own patterns. It's really flexible. I do really like it personally. I think it's really good. Now moving on, I want to talk about the display and the audio side of things. Now the display, it's a basic IPS panel. Now it does look a lot better than a lot of other gaming laptops. For example, that MSI Stealth laptop I tried out a few months ago. The display on this is much better than that one. It's much brighter, much more vibrant. But yeah, again, it's not an OLED panel, so you aren't getting that deep blacks. You are losing some of those viewing angles. But as far as IPS panels go, it is really nice. Personally, I would have liked a glossy panel just for that extra feel of contrast. I don't really know if that actually makes it better contrast, but it feels like it does. But yeah, I do prefer glossy displays anyway. This one is a matte display, so if you are outside, reflections aren't going to be as severe. And as well as that, you are getting a 7 millisecond response time according to ASUS, and as well as that, you are getting 165Hz refresh rate. Now, I will be honest, a lot of games you might struggle to hit that 165Hz refresh rate, but for example, games like Fortnite, Counter-Strike, Valorant, if you're playing any of those games, you'll be easily able to hit that at 1200p, no problem whatsoever. More modern games such as like Starfield, Forza Horizon, you're definitely going to struggle to hit those frame rates on the higher settings. Now on the audio side of things, the laptop speakers that are built in, they don't sound that great. I mean, they are absolutely fine, but I would always recommend putting a headset on, getting a pair of wireless earphones, whatever you want to do. When you're in a game, the fan noise is going to crank up and overpower the speaker sound. So like I said, get a headset. The speakers are fine, but they're not something you're going to want to rely on. Now in terms of performance, I've been really impressed. Now I'm getting very similar performance to what I got from the MSI Stealth 15 laptop with the same RTX 4060 graphics card, and that's not a bad thing by any means. Both laptops are extremely powerful, they're really capable. Now I've been playing Starfield a little bit, 1200p, maxed out settings, you're getting a smooth 70 to 80 frames per second. There are a few frame drops in there a little bit, but mostly it runs really well. Now I was on performance mode. I didn't put it on turbo mode because the fans were just getting too loud, and on silent mode as well, where the fans definitely are a lot quieter. I was getting around 50 to 60 FPS, but the GPU does have to throttle itself quite a bit to be able to keep those fan noise quite low. Now I do have very limited time with this laptop to test everything out. I haven't had much chance to drain the battery, see how long it's lasting, but to be honest, don't be too concerned about the battery life for these gaming laptops, because one, you can't game on the battery life because you can't get enough wattage from the battery to power the graphics card, so you're going to be losing about 80% performance. You're going to have it plugged in if you're going to want to play some demanding games. But for the brief times I have had it on battery life, it seems okay. It seems like you would get a few hours out of it. You're not going to be playing games, but for everyday use you will get a decent amount of hours, maybe 4 to 5 hours out of it. But gaming laptops aren't known for the battery life, so don't rely on that. But also one thing to note, if you are going to be carrying this laptop around with you, power brick is hefty. Don't just take into account the weight of the laptop, you're going to have the brick as well, which is very heavy. Now I do want to briefly go over the connectivity and the ports that are included on this laptop. Now in terms of connectivity, you are getting Wi-Fi 6E as well as Bluetooth 5.2. Now in terms of ports, it's nice to see you do get HDMI 2.1 on the side of this laptop. I wish my MacBook had HDMI 2.1, but I do only have the M1 version, so unfortunately I'm stuck with HDMI 2.0. It's nice to see on this laptop that 120 FPS definitely makes a difference at 4K. So if you are looking to put it onto an external monitor at all, that's a good thing to know. And as well as that, you are getting 2 USB-C ports. One of the ports is USB 3.2 speeds, and the other one is Thunderbolt 4 speeds as well. So you've got a little bit of variety there. Make sure you know which one you're going into it if you do want Thunderbolt as well. And as well as that, you do have the headphone port as well, and 2 USB-A ports on the right hand side of the laptop as well. And a nice feature to have with the laptop is you do get gigabit Ethernet as well. So if you do want to use wired connectivity to the internet, you're going to be fine. Now in terms of the software that comes with the laptop, obviously you do get Windows 11 included and installed on the laptop. If you do buy this laptop, you do get 3 months free of Game Pass Ultimate, which is a really nice feature to get. That's like £30 worth of Game Pass included, which you can't complain with at all. As well as that, you do get the ASUS ROG Armoury Crate software. Now this allows you to take full control of, for example, the lighting you get on the laptop itself. You can see the temperatures of the CPU, the GPU. You can also alter the performance mode you are running as well. So for example, you can go from silent mode, and then you can also put it in Windows mode, which turns all the fans off and just keeps it dead silent. And as well as that, you've got the performance mode and the turbo mode, I believe it's called. Now, turbo mode, personally, I stay away from it. I don't mind losing a little bit of FPS, I just can't stand the extreme fan noise you get from it. So I generally fluctuate from silent to performance, depending on the game I'm playing. For example, I was playing a bit of FIFA on it yesterday, and silent mode was absolutely fine. I was hitting over 100 FPS at 1200p, no questions asked, and it was dead silent. There's a little bit of fan noise, but it was absolutely fine. So personally, I like to run it in silent. You definitely were losing quite a bit of performance just because obviously the thermal issues with not having fans running as fast. It's definitely usable. It's not like the ASUS ROG Ally, for example, where you put it on silent and you lose all your performance. Now, I haven't looked into this part of the software too much, but you do seem to get loads of offers for games, discounts, all that kind of stuff in the Armoury Crate software. I'm not sure how great that's going to be, but I saw that there and I thought I'd mention it. Looks pretty good. And as well as that, you also have like the Xbox app included with Xbox Game Bar, all the standard Windows 11 stuff. Overall, it's a really good laptop, but at £1,500, should you pick one up? That's the big question. Personally, I would say yes. If you want a gaming laptop, you don't want to take it around everywhere with you, go for it. It's going to be an incredible laptop. Now, if you're a bit of a display snob like me and you want that OLED panel, you're going to be a little bit disappointed with the screen quality. That's because I've spoiled myself with buying OLED monitors and being a bit picky with that kind of stuff. Everyone else, it's an incredible display. It looks really good. It's very responsive. The refresh rate is smooth as butter. To be honest, it's really, really nice. Now, you've always got the option to plug it into an external display if you do want to use this laptop as a desktop replacement. And with the RTX 4060 graphics card, you're going to be able to run those games at 1440p, maybe not hitting those 100 FPS and above, but you're still going to be getting absolutely really playable frame rates, even at 4K as well. I've been playing Forza Horizon 5, getting upwards of 50 to 60 FPS, 4K, high settings, there's no complaints there, and yeah, it's a really powerful laptop, and I think if you've got £1,500 to spend, this is the best gaming laptop out right now, especially at this size and form factor, everything you're getting. Comparing it to the MSI Stealth laptop that I tested a few months ago, I would take this laptop over that other one, mainly because of the display improvements, and I like the lighting features. This is definitely a bigger laptop compared to the MSI Stealth. The MSI Stealth is thinner, a little bit lighter. This is definitely heftier, but I like it. I like the design of it. I like the glowing logo on the back. I like the unique yellow pattern design on the front of the laptop as well. It's really good. Let me know down below what you think. If you're looking to buy this laptop at all, let me know what your worries are, any concerns you've got. I'll try my best to answer all the comments down below. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And on that note, I will see you next time. Goodbye.